Alrighty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another weekly update. Hope everybody's having a lovely weekend. And with that being said, let's get into the TA. Alright, so we're going to start off here on the weekly time frame, and then we're going to go down to the daily time frame. Just going to let you guys know before we start this video, I did adjust my screen over in OBS, my recording software, so everyone can now see the time frames that I will be switching through. Hopefully this is easier on the eyes. Let me know what you think in the comments, all right? Because we are a channel for the people. Let me know what you want, all right? Obviously, we're going to do things my way, but hey, guess what? Everyone gets a say. All right, let's get into it. So, first thing I'm going to point out, SPY has now broken the July high. What does that tell us about this move right here on SPY? It is impulsive, all right? The dip shall be eaten, like a lot, okay? Come over here to QQ. You already broke it, so we knew the move was already impulsive. We knew we were bullish on QQ's pullback. Now we can be very bullish on SPY's pullback. DIA this week has also surpassed the July high. IWM is the lagger of the group. People are probably thinking IWM is enough to carry you, keep going. Maybe we're going all-time highs, straight to all-time highs. I'm going to tell you right now, this is like extremely unlikely. All right. It can happen, but again, extremely unlikely. IWM, we could see some rotation going into the small caps, but I'm going to tell you right now, I think it's much more likely that we are going to see the across-the-board pullback, and then we see everything push all together. Why do I think that? All right, everything has gone straight up for quite some time now. I do not think it is unreasonable to be looking for that pullback. Now, I want to point over here on SPY, we do not have a topping tail yet. I pointed this out in Friday's video. We don't have a topping tail. So on Monday, all right, so look at this start of the week. We're looking for a topping tail, or, I mean, hey, you're looking for, some sell side structure, but we have absolutely no, we don't have that. For that to be the case, we'd have to break under here. You have to go something like that. All right, and then boom, you have a lower low on the hourly time from here. Here's your low. You're pushing up. It looks like you're going to go to new high, but guess what? Lower low if you break that, and then you're going to have a lower high right here, and then you break that, and boom, confirm trend change. All right, so, and this is on the hourly time frame. It's not confirmed trend change over here on the daily time frame. We're going to need a lot more structural damage to go down over here for that to be the case. But yeah, really, that is what you're looking for on the downside here. Like, we don't have anything suggesting we are going to sell right here. So you're either looking for what I just described over here on the hourly time frame. You're going to break here. You're looking for this right there, right there. That's when you know. All right. So you're looking for that, or we're looking for that topping tail to get put in. We currently do not have one here on the weekly time frame or the daily time frame. So I do think we're likely going to be putting one in. That's just, an opinion of mine. I'm just, thinking logically about these charts here, because we ain't got one. You had one over here. You had one over here. You had one over here. We don't have one right now. You had one right here. You had this little cell. Okay. Right here. Right here. You got topping tails. Right here. You got topping tails. Right here. You got topping tails, topping tails, topping tails, topping tails, topping tails, topping tails. Boom. You see what I'm saying? Whom? All right. Yeah, you ain't got it right now. So that's just something to take note of. Now, before we go any further, I am going to come over here and I'm going to survey, and I'm going to flash this guy right here. All right, so this is something I wanted to include in Friday's video. I believe I forgot to do so. This came out on Thursday. Now I'm going to scroll down here, and now you can see 51%. That is your yearly high. Yearly high. Let's just look at over here. You're at 49% right now. The bearish camp is under 20%. It is very clear to see, where, I'm not talking about the put the call ratio or anything like that. We can actually take a look at that as well. Let me pull that up. So we're not talking about the put the call ratio. We're talking literally, these are investors here. This is, this is what I've been using for quite some time here to give me my gauge on the market with the fear and greed index. And the fear and greed index, guys, that can probably, let's also pull that guy up right now as well. All right, the fear and greed index can get up to 80 before we see any type of meaningful, I don't want to say pullback, I want to say meaningful reversal. Okay, not a pullback, reversal. Let's just get it really straight here. We haven't had any sort of pullback at all. All right, you had a $4 pullback here, you had a $4 pullback here, you were continuing on up to new highs. All right, Just putting it out there. This is very likely not going to be continuing. You are very likely going to come back down here and at least back test this 440, 438 level right here, which was your break and retest. You had this resistance going on right here. You stalled out right here. Guess what? You got over it. All right. In the daily time frame, you can see that little break and retest, but hey, all right, we want to see a big boy. Okay. We want to see on the weekly time frame, you're going like this. This is where you want to be taking your risk. All right. Now, here really my scenarios for the downside here. And yeah, both of them are downside scenarios. We're not looking at upside up here. There's not a chance we're looking at upside up here. All right. Do I think you're going all-time highs? Yeah, I do. Don't call me a permaball. I'm being a complete realist. The fact that we just took out the July high, you know, I'm serious. If you didn't think it was possible, maybe on this bar or this bar, guess what? This bar should have told you, hey, we're probably going to make it up here on this next move up. The fact that this is going to take, well, it did take out the July high. Guess what? The dip's going to be, and you're going to get a 2. Then you get a, you know, you get a 2, you're going to get a 3, you're going to get a 4, you're going to get a 5. All right. Or you don't. And we're at least going to do something like this. But I'm just telling you right now, this was leg number 1. We are going to get leg number 2. You bet your bottom dollar on that, boy. All right. Sounded a little weird, but yeah, let's come on over here to QQQ and discuss some things. Okay. On the daily time frame. Actually, just on the weekly time frame, not the daily time frame, you do have a topping tail. So that is a thing. QQQ does, the tech sector does tend to lead, as you can see right here. You know, you broke out first. Well, let's come over here to SPY. You broke out second. All right. All right. You had your downtrend. Guess what? QQ broke it, you know, earlier. But now I'm just pointing out you have broken that July high, but you're stalling out right up here. You're very close to all-time highs. I'm just going to put that out there. Can you get up there? You can. I'm still going to say it's extremely unlikely that we go straight to all-time highs without having, you know, any sort of pullback. It can happen, as you see right here. But I've pointed this out in recent videos. You had pullbacks along the way on the daily time frame here. You have not had these pullbacks here with the current run. Now, you do have an $8 pullback currently. So that is a thing. All right. But before that $8 pullback, we only had a 5. And yeah, guys, things just aren't going to go straight up. They can, but look at this. $8 right there. Look at this. There's our, you know, $6 right there. There's your $9 right there. There's your $16 right there. I'm just putting it out there. We got nothing of the sort. We didn't get any of these. All of these pullbacks along this $60 move up right here beat what we got in a straight up move that not matched it, but it's $50. You're $10 off of this insane move that, do you guys remember this? I remember trying to short this thing and it was just like, it kept going straight up. All right. Right over here, you broke out. Guess what? You just kept going straight up, but you still had these things right here. All right. You're at least looking for that. You can along the top if you want. I'm going to keep doing my TA here on the channel. I hope you guys are enjoying the TA here on the channel. I'm going to do my best to, you know, keep my bias out of it. But yeah, I'm not going to deny that, yeah, 100% bearish bias. You're at the July high right now. Your RSI is now at 74. I don't think this is just going to stay up here. I very much so think we're going to get one of these scenarios right here. We're going to come back here to this 438 level. You're going to go up to a new high. All right. Does it break all-time highs? I have no idea. So we'll go something like that. All right. And maybe it takes some time. Maybe it takes some weeks here. All right. Maybe it takes 2 or 3 weeks. You kind of have went straight up for, I think, 5 weeks now. 1, 2, a 3, a 4, a 5. All right. So yeah, maybe we get a 2 or 3 week pullback here. Maybe it comes into the 15th around that expiration right over there. And then boom, I think you're probably going to have probably what we saw right here. I think you're probably about to see that same thing. I think this market is nothing less than bullish. All right. You can short the pullback, but you know, don't be thinking you're going to get a massive trend change here. The dip is going to be in. I just showed you in this video why it is like, you know, just extremely likely to be eaten up. You have taken out the July high on everything besides IWM. IWM is the lagger, but the fact that you did it over here on everything else means this was right here. I freaking pointed it with my finger thinking you guys could see it. Silly me. All right. The fact that this went straight up and this was, you know, no pullback means this is leg one. Okay. Just like you had, like you even got your pullback here. All right. Boom. All right. You went up. All right. Oh, you got a pullback there. Boom. You went up. You didn't get a pullback here. You just died. All right. So like, yeah, guys, we're looking for these pullbacks. I don't think anybody should, you know, just be longing up here. I had my thumbnail on Friday. Don't long up here. I'm serious, guys. You're buying in extremely close to the peak. I just showed you, all right, guys? 49%. Your peak over here was 40%. All right, your peak over here was 42%. Peak over here was 49%. 51% right here. I'm just putting it out there. You're probably not going much higher from here. You're probably at least coming back to that 438 level I just pointed out over in SPY. Now, what is scenario number 2? We get a deeper pullback. Guys, this is a shallow pullback in the grand scheme of things. Why? Because you're not even hitting the 50% retracement if you do this move. Like, it's not a big pullback. But honestly, look at that. 50% retracement would align going into the 15th. Exactly on the 15th would align exactly with this trend line touch right here that we can see on the weekly time frame. All right. That would be pretty sexy. There's some confluence going on. You could also add something like the 200-day moving average. All right. We could come over here, come over here. All right. Go like that. There we go. All right. Guess what? It's all the way down here. So just pointing out there, we have a lot of confluence down here. It's either we're going to get the shallow pullback, and yes, this is the shallow pullback. The shallow pullback is not going to look something like this, and then you skyrocket. No. This is honestly, with this move we just have, this is the feeble pullback. All right? This is it. Straight up. Aggressive move down. Golden pocket, somewhere on the 200 DMA right here, around this, you know, we're going to say 425 to 435. 425 to 430. That's my, like, you know, super bear case scenario with the chart that we're looking at right now. I say super bear case scenario, even though we're not coming out and taking out these highs. Why is that the super bear case scenario? Because I'm super bullish on this market, all right? I don't think anybody has a reason not to be. Just like you had over here, you didn't have a reason to just be, you know, yeah, I mean, you were shorting over here. We knew downside was limited. You literally came down to the 0.618, and you ended up getting a very aggressive bounce. That very aggressive bounce just showed us that buyers are taking a stand. All right, we're going all-time highs. Sorry if you don't want to hear it. We're going all-time highs. Again, don't let me come off as a perma bull. Just let me come off as a complete realist. I'm showing you everything I'm coming to these conclusions with in this video. All right, but yeah, super bear case scenario. You come down to the golden pocket. Maybe you come and fill this gap here at 430.92. All right, maybe you come all the way down here and fill this gap at 430 right here, 423.50. Unlikely, but maybe it happens. And then you probably end up shooting up just as quick as you did over here. All right, because you're gonna have a lot of people saying like, "Oh, I told you so. I told you so." Oh, crash. No, guess what? I was saying it the whole time too, and I'm not gonna say crash. All right, not the whole time, but I was looking for a pullback from over here. We never got it. No, we didn't get anything, and that's fine. But I'm just saying, you're not going to go to all-time highs without a pullback. It's not going to happen. We're going to say 99.9% sure. Why is that 0.1% still in there? Because your boy Henry's not an idiot. I can be wrong. All right. I'm just going to tell you right now, it's such a low probability that you were going to, after a $50 move up, then continue on and have a $70 move up. I don't think it's going to happen. All right. That's a $20 move. I don't think it's going to happen. I think you're at extremes now. You do have your RSI over here at 74. The last 2 times this took place, this actually did mark or start marking your peak here. Right here, start marking your divergence. Maybe we do go higher. That's what I was saying with the topping tail. We could push a little higher, right? We don't have a topping tail. QQ, we do have a topping tail. SMH, you didn't have any sort of action going on over there as well. Guys, we will point out I got 2 focus setups going into this week that I'm rather excited about. There's 3 of them, but I'll share 2 of them with you guys. There's a bunch more, but these are just looking very ripe because, you know, who's going to be longing up here? No, let's focus on some individual tickers. All right, come over here to DraftKings. All right, guys, D-King has been in this tight consolidation here for 2 weeks now. I think you're very likely about to break out of this week. It's either going to be the upside or the downside, but you know, could you have a false breakout to the upside and put in like a shooting star candlestick or some sort of reversal candlestick? Yes. All right. Is that going to provide a very tradable, you know, day there? Yes. All right. Above 39.10, you're bullish. Underneath 37.90, you're bearish. It's as easy as that. It's here on the 4-hour time frame. You can see it clearly on the daily time frame. All right. This is very clear with the buyers and the sellers are stepping in here. That is setup number 1. All right. What is focus setup number 2? Carvana is set up to explode. Now, this has actually been on my Put this on 2 out of 3 watch lists the last 3 weeks. Why? Because this thing was queuing up. All right. Now we did end up, I actually just took it off, but I had this. Why? Because I shared this right there at the bottom of that channel. All right. Carvana has extremely clean price action going on right now. All right. So we pointed out right here, you're in this consolidation. We pointed this out in a video last week. You did have the breakout. You rejected right off of here from resistance. And then the next day, we also pointed out, hey, people are probably getting scared here. Guess what? It's just a break and retest. You did have the break and retest, and then you had like a 12% day here. All right. So off of that, you did end up having quite a day. Now, I am going to say right now, I don't think it's over for this ticker. All right. First of all, that RSI isn't up at 70. That means we definitely can start moving and grooving. All right. If other tickers can do it, this guy is lagging. All right. What do we also have? We have bullish structure going on. We have an inverse head and shoulders right here. All right. You could actually see it pretty clear here on the 4-hour time frame. Honestly, I'd argue the price action is cleaner here on the 4-hour time frame than the daily, but they are both pretty clean. Regardless, you had a break and retest from this bull flag going on that formed the right shoulder right here. And now this is your neckline right here at 34.85. I'm getting from right here, 34.85. You can see it right here. All right. That is your neckline. You've already gotten the hourly close above there. I'm looking, or the 4-hour close above there, whereas you couldn't over here. I'm looking for you to retest that level on a smaller time frame, or you're going to shoot up here and you're going to break above there. There's your half size entry right there. There's your full size entry right there. Now you have a level to risk off of. And these gray levels, here are your TPs. Here are your take profits. All right. I'm just saying right now, if this thing does get going, you know, we could actually see above 40 this week. That is a thing. You guys saw the price action that happened last week. This thing can get moving and grooving. It is a high short interest name. Another high short interest name is Roblox. Roblox is also looking ready to go. Not as clean of a setup, in my personal opinion, but you have been in this relatively tight range here, this $3 range. It looks like it's probably about to break up to the upside. All right, which is something I want to point out over on Carvana. I think this is honestly the top setup going into this week. This is an A++ setup. What is the difference between A+ and A++? No idea. All right, your boy's just excited. All right, because sexy things on these charts, you know. But yeah, guys, you have this increasing volume here. You get this increasing volume here. Guess what? The next day you did end up having an almost 10% spike. You had this increasing volume here. Guess what? The next day you also had a 16% spike. Do you see the common theme I'm speaking of here? Okay, maybe we put in a top. I think this thing is getting ready for a full-on reversal. I think we're probably going to start moving and grooving. All right, guys, so that is D-King and Carvana top setups going into this week. VIX. We will actually close out the video with this because I did not bring up our beautiful Mr. VIX over here. And this is what I was saying about the Fear and Greed Index, by the way. All right, guys, you can get all the way up here. Don't watch this thing for a top. Don't just see this thing get into greed territory and be like, yeah, this thing's going to die. No, I've seen this thing go way higher. Just like when it started getting down here, I'll let you guys know the facts, all right? When you get down here, you don't really go lower. You got 17 down here, right? Intraday. I was like, yo, bottom's getting put in as we speak. Bottom was getting put in as we speak. All right? And a major bottom. Not just, you know, for a little pullback there on the downtrend. No, a major bottom. Up here, things don't necessarily work like that. It can't just be, hey, you know, extreme fear, extreme greed. No, you can just keep going. All right, so I wouldn't be watching that. That's why I also use this bad boy right here, okay? And like I pointed out, it literally is, you know, it's all the way up there. This is the 1-year high. This, we just looked at, you know, the yearly data over there. Every time you've topped out over here, this is where the investors decide to, you know, there you go, all right? Let's get all in there on one side. And then dealers are like, oh, look at that. Let's go the other way. And then they're going to keep going that way in the upward direction. But it's going to be after that pullback, guys. There's no way they're just going to pay out everyone. And, you know, put the call ratio. I told you guys we could look at that. We didn't end up looking at that. Let's look at that right now as we speak. All right. Right here. Yes, right here. Call ratio. My Yahoo, dude. I hate when look on things and it changes my search from Google to Yahoo. It's not okay. Not okay. Okay, we'll change it back. All right, and if you guys were curious, the call ratio right here, Y charts. You can always check it on Y charts. It is at 0.5. That is 0. That is false. That was our day off. Okay, just know that. That is a false reading. But 0.5, that is in confluence with what I just showed you over here on the AAII investor sentiment survey, which I can also not find now. It's somewhere here. Not maybe I exit out. I don't know. Either way, guys, extremely low VIX right now. You're at support. Okay, you can go lower. Next support is going to be down there at 1140. But guess what? You're at your long-term support. This is on the weekly time frame, so that's why it looks so small over here. But now we're on the daily time frame, guys. This has been your support since June. All right, guys. We have a lot of months that went by in between here and here. I'm just putting that out here. This, if bears are going to step in over on SPX, this is where it's going to have. Excuse moi. Had some protein porridge, some chocolate peanut butter protein porridge. Guys, let me know some protein snacks you guys make for yourselves down in the comment section. I would love to know because, you know, less bland is better. Okay. All right, guys. I think I've made myself pretty clear on this video, guys. We are looking for a major, not a major top, a decent, we're going to say a decent pullback, right? I don't want to say, you know, I don't want anybody thinking I'm like super bearish here. I definitely do think this is going to happen, and I definitely will start taking 60 to 90 day out positions right here. Guaranteed. This is where I started. All right. And if we start getting down here, this is where your boy starts, you know, getting super heavy on the boat again with a long boat, except with way more date than we did over here. So that will be so freaking cool. So cool. All right, guys. And with that being said, all right, 4-hour time frame still have all their divergences. These are all still in place. They're all intact. All right. Even with these new spikes, SPY, 4-hour bearish diverge right there. Daily RSI all the way up there. We're looking for a bearish divergence form over here on the daily RSI, or we're just looking for a flat out peak like this. All right. With that being said, I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace. Boom, boom.